Molo360 podcast.
Hello.
I'm here with Blashy, and first and foremost, I'd like to ask, what do you do, and like who you are.
I'm Blashy. I make some vaporwave music. That's just the kind of stuff I want to listen to. I try to be as supportive as I can to everybody and just be a loving person.
Oh, that's awesome. So, you make music, like, what kind of music? Like, what? Explain.
So, it's like your sort of typical, old style vaporwave and screw, make loops, that sort of thing. But I tend to sample only video game music specifically. I think that's just a big, the first couple of artists that got me into the genre in the first place, which were Quip, R23X, and Destiny and Shroud. By pure coincidence, the Neo Gaia boys got me single-handedly into vaporwave.
Sweet. Like, are they the first people that you like listen to in the genre?
Yeah. I don't mean to imply that they personally were like, hey, check us out. I meant like I was on Bandcamp looking for some video game music to like play on streams, because I used to stream on Twitch all the time. I don't know. I was just looking for something different to listen to while I just farmed in Splatoon or something. And Bandcamp recommended me I Dreamed of a Palace in the Sky by Quip. I'm like, oh, this looks like a video game. I'm gonna check it out. And I listened to it and I was like, oh, fuck, what is this? And blew my mind, and it was like, it had that tag vaporwave. I was like, I've heard of this. This is that weird Simpsons shit on YouTube. I've seen this before.
Ooh,
I started looking more, and I discover like Katamari Fantasy. R23X was the next one, and then I think R23X had recommended this Dynamic Shroud. So I checked them out, and the first thing that really caught my eye was the Shenmue Online mixtape. Because at the time, like, I thought, nobody liked Shenmue except for me, surely. And I listened to it, and it was funny. I actually thought, this is fucking stupid. They just ripped off the Shenmue OST and put it on Bandcamp. What is this?
Oh, really?
But then I listened. I didn't know.
I've never played Shenmue.
It's a pretty 1-1 copy, but I mean, there's some edits, and it's like, I get why James did what he did now, but at the time I thought it was weird. But I wound up listening to, I think it was Ultra Living Like This, and that was like the first like true like actual like vaporwave album that I listened to.
Such a fucking gem. I love that fucking album. It's amazing. Honestly, like, I relate to you. I mean, I've said this in past podcasts, like, I got into vaporwave because of Electronicon, and mainly like Equip at that time. Because I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. This is like my shit. Like, because I love Final Fantasy, and he just gave me Final Fantasy vibes.
Absolutely, and Chrono Trigger as well, which I think was done. The music was done by the same guys. So, that I frequently compared Equip to the Chrono Trigger soundtracks. Specifically his album, Synthetic Core '88. I thought that was like Chrono Trigger 2.
I haven't actually listened to Chrono Trigger. Oh my god. I'm like
You
newbie
got
as
you got
fuck.
to give it a try.
Yeah, thanks
You
for
have to give it
the
a shot.
recommendation. Sweet. Are there any other vaporwave artists that you like? Or like, yo, these people
I
are
mean,
cool.
there's loads.
There's
But no, of
loads.
course
There's
there's
really
loads. I mean,
loads.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's
tons of vaporwave
fucking.
artists because
Hmm.
one of the best quotes. I have repeated this multiple times, but um, George Clanton was doing an interview with Anthony Fantano,
Hmm.
and he was pointing out that most of the people that make vaporwave also listen to it. They might
Hmm.
not have said it exactly like that, but the point is, everybody that's like making it is for the most part also listening to it, which is super sick because you have artists that are all influenced by each other, which puts you in a situation where it's like you have artists like In Rail, I'm sure you know very well. He he is very clearly influenced by BDS, and it shows, and it's magical. You have artists like Luxury Elise, who had a very signature sound that blatantly influenced artists like VHS Tape Rewinder and Waterfront Dining, and they've been an influence on artists after that. And mentioned are some of my favorites for sure. I mean, I love VHS Tape Rewinder. I hope they're doing well. They've been super inactive for a while. And there's of course big dogs. There's Native Gemini,
Yeah.
Dan Mason. They're of course they're the influence. They're the good ones, so to speak. But
Dan Mason made a
I
fucking
could
album that made me cry.
something can really cry by just saying the right combination of words. But like I can reach over, open up one of my little drawers here, and whip out a tape, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, this artist is great for such and such reason. Because that's just the thing about vaporwave is everybody's doing kind of the same thing, kind of their own thing. It's like I've never listened to a vaporwave album that I've gone, this is bad. Like it's just everybody seems to have relatively the same sensibility, and it works really well.
So, are there any genres that influence your music?
Not really, no, because the only music I really make anymore is the kind of video game music sample vaporwave. Back in the day, I used to play in metal bands. I had a project that was a type of music called dungeon synth, and dungeon synth is like this. It's like if you got a dungeon. It's like if you got a Dungeons and Dragons like playbook, but like all the pages were like clearly xeroxed. It had that kind of vibe. Like everything's just kind of off. It's cheesy. It's heavy on the keyboards. It's heavy on the atmosphere. Everything sounds like the cassette tape needs to be desperately helped. That's the vibe. I made that for a while and successful enough. And there were plenty of influences for that. But I mean, now I listen to other genres, of course, but they don't really influence music. It's just like I just listen to some video game music and I go, yeah, this would sound good. Just like this 10 seconds to this 10 seconds would sound excellent, slowed down and repeated and thanks.
Would you ever consider mixing those other genres that you're into what you make?
I would love to, but I don't think I have like the correct ear for it. Like I don't feel like I would do him justice. because as much as I would love to be like, yeah, I can take, Japanese city pop from 2000s and turn it into something else. Not only has it been done, but probably done better than what I would have. Like, I just don't think I have like a take that would be particularly impressive. I would rather do one of two things. Either I would rather just listen to the music, or listen to somebody else who's got better skills than I do and learn from them before I start trying to take on something that I don't feel comfortable with. Because I don't want to get overconfident and put something out and it not be good enough, reflection of the original samples. Because whenever I put something out now under the Blashy moniker, I'm trying to have some level of respect for the original sample. Like, I'm not just trying to be like, yeah, I own this thing from their song. Like, no, I'm trying to make something that's like, the song was so good, I wanted to make something hopefully as good from it. And I just don't think I can do that with an artist like, this is a new one I just got into this one. Ryu Senkei. Just found out about them recently. But like, I would love to do something with like their music and with a sample and like there's some random drums in
there. Would you say like you're a perfectionist when it comes to like making music like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
I don't want to like let people down. That's why when it comes to physical releases, like if there's at any point that I don't think it's going to be perfect, then I'm not going to put it out because I don't want somebody to buy something and be like, oh, this is disappointing, because it's a reflection on myself and I want to provide the best. It's just the kind of person I am. Like, I have too much respect for like people willing to like invest their hard-earned money in me to like not let me get the best.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I mean, there are people out there who kind of don't care about like quality and they just put out, which I'm not like saying like that's not cool, because I know that's probably also practice, but like, you do make tapes. You showed me your tape before we started, and yeah, like, I think that's super admirable is what I'm trying to say. It's like,
yeah, and that's why I went with the label that I did, City Man Productions. The guy who runs it, Tony, he's spot on. He's absolutely phenomenal. Really cares, really goes the extra mile, and he really took a chance on me as well, which was nice. Although I think it had partially to do with the fact that this was a split with a guy called Groove Remote. It was awesome. I loved him. Groove Remote approached him, sent him my side of the tape, and then Tony was just like, yep, we'll do it. How many copies do you want? What colors? Instead of the options, and I'm just like, blue and pink? Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. It costs more. I do not care. I want this, and I want to make it right. And that's why, came out, and it looks absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't be happy with it.
I missed out. Are they still?
Out.
Huh?
Actually, they're sold out.
God damn it. Fuck.
It's like one of the proudest days of my career, and I only have one.
Wow. That's awesome.
Maybe it's Discogs helper though. Maybe
Oh, maybe
you can get it on Discogs.
Yeah. Well, what about a repress, Mr. Blash?
Unlikely, to be honest. There would have to be like a great level of demand. And I don't think the demand is there. Not to say that your demand is not valid, but rather you're the only person who's ever asked.
Oh my god! Well, I mean, eventually, yeah, eventually there's gonna be hella demand. Come on.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, you're fucking cool. So and I see a future. I mean, I'm no psychic, but I have ears, and my ears get horny to music like yours.
Thank you. Well, you're in luck, because there is a new set coming out in a couple of months.
Yeah.
On Aquaria, it's just called Aquaria with a B. They will be releasing my newest album, which is called Yesterday. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the Japanese. Yesterday is a collection of particularly touching and important video game music that I tried to pay tribute to in the best way I could. One of the songs in there was kind of like not like a tribute, but like just kind of a nudge towards my 2-year-old, because him and I used to play together.
Oh my god, I was literally gonna ask you, like, does your kid influence you? I literally have it on my thing.
He influences me, not in like a musical way, but in a personal way. Yeah, absolutely. He's a huge inspiration. I love that little man.
Aww.
But no, like when he was really small and he wasn't walking, or let alone crawling yet, I kind of just like pop him on my lap and we'd sit and play video games together. I gave him a third-party Switch controller that I snipped the cable off of. It was broken anyway. He'd sit there and try to press a little button. I think that actually might be why he can play video games now. I like to call myself that. The album is coming out in February.
Hell yeah.
And
everyone write that down.
It will be available on, I think there's going to be like only 20 copies with 2 bonus tracks.
Hell yeah.
Set only. So if you want to hear those super secret songs, get yourself a tape.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
As much as I hate paywall and music, you know, it was one of those things where I'm incentivized it a little bit.
Just not to talk about the drama, but I'm going to mention Bandcamp. How do you feel about Bandcamp and Bandcamp Fridays?
I love Bandcamp. It's not to like.
It's true.
Give independent artists a platform in which to not only express themselves, but potentially support themselves. You know, there's, as far as I know, there's very few instances where Bandcamp had to step in and take down something because like, it was blatantly infringements into his copyright or the music. Do you know who King Down Market is?
I actually don't. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
King Down Market is they're like this label, makes bootlegs, but they're either they are or they pretend to be Chinese. It's a dumb thing, but they can't actually shut their bank down. Because what they were doing was basically just selling copies of like Floral Shop or Echo Jams or something, and Bandcamp's kind of just like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to let the original artists make money off their music. So that was one of the few times that I've seen them do something like that. Like they haven't gone after vaporwave artists, and I really appreciate that because vaporwave is a pretty sample-heavy genre where it could be problematic, but Bandcamp is just like, no, we want people to support themselves. Yeah, Bandcamp Friday is amazing. The fact that they'll waive their fees because they know people are struggling, especially independent artists who, you know, some make their sole income from this. That's why you have guys like Equip who do his Patreon. Although I think he's going to start a Bandcamp fan club soon, just to kind of like make it easier for people because some people prefer Bandcamp over Patreon, whatever. Um, and then there's other people who really supplement their income with their music, and it's great that Bandcamp is willing to like waive their fee. That's what makes them money. So little guy can make more money. I mean, like, I don't see where anything there could be wrong at all.
Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with it either because, like, huh? Wait, what?
Was there like legitimate? Was there controversy about Bandcamp Friday?
There what? Oh my god, you haven't heard about the controversy? I say it differently.
I've been pretty busy the last couple of days. I'm not gonna lie. I may not have been keeping up. So if you wanna, I don't know if you wanna. This is the platform to fill me in, or.
Well, said person in the scene was like, "Yo, stop throwing like these Bandcamp Fridays," or like, okay, whoa, let me calm down. This person was like, "Stop shoving down Bandcamp Fridays down my throat," basically, and like, I don't know, it's like knocking it down. It's like, yo, dude, like without this, so many like artists. Well, I think it's such a great opportunity to like get your like shit on Bandcamp Fridays and promote yourself. And what's wrong with promoting yourself? What is wrong? How do you get your shit out there? It's stupid.
I agree. Not to like break the sort of chat, but people are saying the music is loud.
I'm like, what? I'm on your Bandcamp and I'm like,
quiet.
Wait, well, I put you all the way up.
Volume slider on. Just have volume slider on Bandcamp. Yeah. That's what they could improve on. Is put a volume slider on their website.
That would be really nice. Seriously, I thought there was one, but I'm like not seeing it, and I'm like, how do I do this? I'm an idiot.
So while you're doing that, shout out, hi, Skeleton Lipstick, Dr. Chris. Super nice to see you. Then hello, Cell Shade, hi. Nobody, Bowden. Have I heard of Old Spy Records? I have. Oh, Telepath. Oh, it was okay. All right. I'm not going to comment on the Telepath thing, but let's just say it doesn't surprise me that he would say something like that. This is coming from a guy with an infamously poorly named project. So
I'm just gonna play some Rosewood jams. I'm like, fuck.
That's fine.
Ooh, Skeleton Lipstick has a big paragraph. Let's go. I'm going to say that the outburst came out of nowhere, and I'm going to venture a guess that some shit was going down in his personal or real life, and I bet he just transferred the frustration to Twitter and lashed out because it literally came out of nowhere. That is a good take, and I highly respect that completely. Fuck yeah. That's good. Skeleton Lipstick's so understanding. It was like,
Skeleton
yeah.
Lipstick remains one of the positive, wholesome people ever.
Yeah. That's why I
Absolutely
was
love
like, I
Chris.
knew who it was. I didn't want to say it because, like, you know. And I just wanted to know your input, but yeah, we don't know what's going on in their personal life. And you made a good point, Skeleton.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wanna throw shade at Telepath. I don't know Telepath personally in the
Yeah.
slightest.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if there's talking shit about Bandcamp Friday, that's not cool. But
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
whatever, people are gonna still support people on Bandcamp Friday, whether Telepath says so or not. So
Yeah. Um. So, what drives you every day to do what you do? Or not every day? Just like
my son.
your son?
Yeah. Uh,
It's beautiful.
my 2-year-old. He is. His name is Sage, by the way. So Sage is definitely the driving force in my life. He is incredibly important to me. I was at a kind of a turning point in my life. Everything was really bad, and my wife and I found out that she was pregnant, and that was kind of the moment in my life where I was like, well, I can either turn everything around and start being more positive and start making better choices and have this baby and be a good father, or I can make poor choices and continue on with my shitty life and not be a good father. And I chose to be a good one. And thank God Vaporwave turned up when it did. Because almost by some divine intervention, that's like right around the time when I discovered Vaporwave, actually.
That's so beautiful. That's a good, like...
The Vaporwave, yeah, the Vaporwave discovery and my son's soon birth kind of was like enough for me to turn myself around. And now, just day-to-day life, I just try to be a good parent and support him. And that's why I go to work every day. I work retail, and it's especially harrowing because the kind of place I work at, we use sampling as a sales tactic, which means people take their fucking masks off all the time. So like I'm constantly putting myself at risk to contract coronavirus.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not good, dude. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my job. I absolutely do. It's easily the best job I've ever had. I'm extremely grateful for it. But it's one of those things where a big part of the reason why I'm willing to, besides the obvious, paying bills, eating food, but a big part of it is because I want to have enough like financial stability to where he doesn't go without anything. And then when the music thing, that's just kind of like I hear a sick video game jam and I'm like, yeah, make something out of this.
You can share. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Continue.
I was kind of at the end of my thought.
Are you gonna share your music taste with your son?
I already have, actually. When he's in the car, I will put on some jams. He loves World War Olympics by Destiny and Shroud.
I love that kid. So, yo, me too.
Tech Honor.
Yo. That's a smart kid.
I couldn't get him to chill out, so it was 9, 10 o'clock at night. I popped him in the car, in his little car seat, gave him a blanket, a whole bottle of milk, time to set up for a drive. And that's what we did. We just went for a drive. It was like hardly anybody was on the road. And I put on World War Olympics, and he just loved it. We got to the track, protect samples, toy soldiers. He's like in the backseat, like laughing.
I love that. Do you ever show him your songs before you I don't know, like when you're done producing them and you're like, I think this is finished? Do you like show your son afterwards and is like, give me your approval? Or have you ever done that?
I haven't really. Well, I've never done that. I wish I did when he was smaller, but now I really can't because he is way too. He's way too energetic to sit still long enough to actually listen to music if we're not in the car. So I guess I could like put it on my phone or something and play it for him, but I can't say I've ever done that.
That's like my nephew.
Oh, there's one I really enjoyed listening to Waterfront Dining.
That's a soothing ass. Hell yeah.
Soothing. It's repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's the Waterfront Dining's timing range is not particularly crazy. Like it's very sort of steady. You know, it's lo-fi.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why he likes it so much.
NRail's right. JSI and NRail are right. Baby genius. Too.
Yes, he's alarmingly intelligent. He scares me. He'll just start doing shit. It's just like I wasn't anticipating. And I woke him up yesterday morning and I was like, hello, Sage. And he's just like, hello. Where the fuck did that come from?
Aww. Yeah. That's so cute. I love his name, Sage. I love it.
Yeah, Sage.
It's unique.
Yeah. Yep. It was if he was gonna be a girl, we are probably gonna go with either Juniper or Rosemary. There's a old folk song called Scarborough Fair. It has this bit that goes parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. So I've always joked like I want to like have 4 kids, have sage, parsley, rosemary, and thyme. But then again, I can't call my child parsley. No. He's gonna have the hardest time at school ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was some joke, but it was partially.
They would probably change their name to like Tech Honors or something.
They would be Tech Honors.
Yeah.
It's like that meme of the scientist holding the mysterious liquid. It's like finally Tech Honors 2.
I immediately just thought of like Chemical X and like Powerpuff Girls when you said that, a scientist with a boss. Like, what would you like to accomplish with your music?
I just want people to like have some cool jams to listen to. You know, if they like it, then that makes me super happy. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, people can have the same kind of like nostalgic experience that I get from listening to the original samples and then eventually listening to the final, produced track. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, I'm kind of just making music for me here. Mm-hmm. Like, if other people enjoy it, like, that's sick. Like, that makes me so happy. But it really is kind of just like, I'm just making the music that I want to listen to. Mm-hmm. So, I just, hopefully people like it. Like, if only one other person for, like, the rest of my days says, like, yo, I bought your tape, it was dope, I'm like, alright, that's cool. That's like enough satisfaction. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to be like, let me get signed to 100% electronica. I want to put an album on vinyl. I don't even. It's fine.
I would
I'm
love
perfectly content.
I would love to see it. I'm just saying. I would love to
I mean, don't get
see
me
it.
wrong. It's like George Clinton sent me an email. Was like, hey, I want to put your
Oh,
fucking New World mixtape on vinyl record. I'll be like, all right, but I don't intend to ever make this like a career.
mhm. Yeah.
It's just,
I understand that cuz it's
it's
so
just not.
hard. It is extremely hard to like make it in music. And like when like SoundCloud and Bandcamp and all that like came out, that was like an amazing time where like anyone could literally make it in the industry. And now it's like this has been out for years and now there's so many artists and it's such a tough industry to get in. And it's like yeah, you shouldn't care about the numbers. You should just, or like you should have, I guess, like the mentality to not care about the numbers. You know, people get too lost in the sauce about that shit, and it's like, yo, chill. Like that
Lost
could
the sauce.
come. Yeah, lost in the sauce. Everyone deserves a Lita
Yeah,
reissue years after they've left the public eye with an OB strip. Interesting.
I think it's Light in the Attic.
Huh?
They do Light in the Attic. They do. Uh, they're the kind of record label that's like first time on vinyl outside Japan in almost 40 years. Like they're like that kind of label,
Oh.
like city pop and stuff
Mhm.
that never stood a chance of being reissued otherwise.
Oh my god. Um. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not terribly pressed about the numbers.
Mhm.
The fact that this sold out is just incredible. I that's you know
Mhm.
I'm super happy about it.
Mhm. What was your thought process into like, or what is your thought process when you make like music? Like, how does it go?
So I'm typically just playing a game or I'm listening to some video game music and I hear something that just kind of grabs my attention and kind of listen to it over a few times and make some loops. If I'm happy with them,
Mhm.
I will kind of get it to the right key and the right speed that I think sounds good.
Mhm.
Because there is definitely a limit, how you can alter something before it just sounds completely ridiculous.
Mhm.
And add a little bit of effects to just kind of add a different atmosphere. And then I typically will record the track onto my cassette tape um, on my computer, and that's usually that. Really, I mean, there's not some big secret. It really is just a matter of making loops, slowing down effects, cassette. That's it.
Mhm. So you
I'm
put
not.
it on a cassette. Do you? Is it because like you want to like listen to how it would sound on a cassette?
Partially, yeah, but also because it's probably in my head, but I think it definitely does something to the dynamic range of the song. I just kind of like the way it sounds.
Mhm.
I don't know if that makes sense. Like, to give
Yeah,
you an
that makes
example,
sense.
there's so Equip put out a shirt with the DT. Like when you bought it, like it came with a download of 2 altered tracks from Cursebreaker X that were mastered onto VHS.
Mhm.
That process was done by R23X. And I think going from like Equip's computer onto a VHS tape, like it definitely did something to the sound. Like the track sounds quite, I don't want to say washed out, but it kind of introduced like a natural wow and flutter to it.
Mhm.
And I think, and don't quote me on this, but I think James does the same thing with Dustin and Shroud songs.
Mhm.
He kind of will put them on a cassette and back onto his computer. And it just, maybe it's just, all in our heads, but I think there's something about kind of introducing like an analog step
Mhm.
to the production that will change things up a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah.
The final code, exactly, things like that.
Yeah. Totally. Um, like some artists don't think like that. I've heard that Kiss like sounds awful when you listen to them, but like their live shows are amazing. That they sound amazing like live, and it's like, if you, I guess that's like putting that extra measure into like, all right, I'm gonna make like I don't know, make sure that this sounds good in all like platforms instead of just like
Yeah,
yeah.
I always like to leave the option of a
Mhm.
physical release available to me.
Mhm.
So that's why I do try to make sure it sounds decent on
Mhm.
a cassette before I will before I finish it.
Mhm.
Even if it inevitably does not end up getting physically released for one reason or another,
Mhm.
it's just nice to know that the option is there.
Mhm. Would you consider making mini disc or CDs?
I have actually made a CD. I do have a CD release out. It is on Dream Museum Records.
Ooh.
A compilation of Animal Forest 1 and 2 bonus track. And it is available. It's shipping. It's ready to go. And it's only like $10, I think. And it comes in this really cool like DVD style case with
Mhm.
an instruction manual, and it looks super professional. Neon 95 is the guy who runs that label, and he did a wonderful job.
What
He
was
really went
the
all out with it.
what was the name again? Dream.
Dream Museum Records.
I'm gonna like post that for everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
From
how do you get like involved with these labels?
um, there, to be honest, I can't really say too much, but the last couple of times they've kind of just reached out to me and were like, do you want to put this out physically, or we would like to do a release of this? And I'm like, oh, yeah, definitely. With the City Man Productions tape, that was reaching out to them, but that was on Groove Remote. He reached out to Tony, but he already knew Tony because Groove Remote had put out an album with City Man before, and so they had already had a working relationship. And so I think he was kind of just like, I'm doing this split. Do you want to put it out? He's like, yeah, that's fine. I would like to. Um, usually I just post it on my Bandcamp, and sometimes the label reaches out. Other times, I might just, kind of casually mention it and see if it goes anywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's another thing that is in the works that I reached out about.
Hell yeah.
It wasn't like a long conversation. It was kind of like, hey, do you want to do this? And I'm like, yeah. I was like,
Hell yeah.
to
Oh.
answer your question about mini discs, would I do mini discs? Yes, I love mini disc. I think it's a super sick format.
Mhm.
I just haven't had the opportunity. It's a terribly expensive format. Um,
Mm.
it's just the nature of it. Is
Mhm.
they're very scarce these days, so it's like, you know, you have the option of a set for $12 or a mini disc for 18. What are you
Mhm.
really gonna go for here?
Yeah. And what about vinyls? What do
Yeah, I
you?
mean, if if vinyl was like presented to me as like an opportunity, then sure, but uh, I don't think I'd ever like self-produce something on vinyl because that's like you gotta have quite a lot of investment for
Mhm.
vinyl, and it's really gonna kind of go over like you really have to have like a lot of like capital like overhead, and if I don't think I can return at least my investment on it, then I don't
Mhm.
necessarily want to do it. As to say that like I don't care enough about like my music, but I just don't. I don't think it's necessarily required. Like this, I don't think that these albums are, you know, that stunning that like it needs to be on like a format as exquisite as vinyl record.
You don't think your music is that stunning?
Not to me because I'm the one that made it.
Oh.
I know what went into it. I
Oh.
know now. I heard every second of its production, and
First of all, it is.
it's not bad. I just don't think that it's like okay. There are albums that are out right now that are on physical releases, like a tape or something,
Mhm.
that deserve a vinyl record because they have that level of like interestingness. Um, the first one that comes to mind is actually Space Rule 2000.
Mhm.
Um, the crime. It's not vinyl
Cry.
record yet, but
True.
I'm hoping eventually. Um, whereas I don't think something like uh, Yesterday is quite as significant. Like it's good. I enjoyed making it. I enjoy listening to it. I hope other people
I
do.
think that's if other people and you enjoy making it, I think anything can be on vinyl. I mean, especially you said you like tried to perfect it too. So like you think it's obviously good enough,
I
So
think
it
we
would
need
be
to just
sick.
put it out.
You need to be more positive. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's good enough for me to put it out in the world. I just don't know if it's necessarily good enough. Maybe not good enough. It's just that I don't think it's necessary.
Mm.
You know, like I know vinyl's kind of like the end goal for a lot of artists, and
Mhm.
although now there's reel to reel has been making a bit of a comeback, which is totally fucking mind blowing. Um, but I'm pretty happy with just like a cassette tape, man. Honestly, like it's that's cool. That's for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're happy with that, that's cool. I just have to say, I'm sorry. I guess there are people visiting my house right now. That's the
Yeah,
background noise.
it's all good. I'm not all fussed.
Since it's like the holiday season, I wanted to know, would you ever produce anything holiday related? And what season?
Well, it's like Christmassy time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, he totally against the idea of doing like a Christmassy themed track.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Pacific Plaza Records is putting out a sort of compilation again this year, and I would love to participate in that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite video games is Nights into Dreams,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and there was a version of Nights into Dreams released called Christmas Nights, and it had Christmas renditions of all of the music, or not all of the music, but some of the music, the main theme, the first level, and I think it'd be super cool to do something with that as like the base
Mm-hmm.
of the track. Like the main sample would be from Christmas Nights. I think that would make a pretty cool song. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, would I do it? Yes. Do I have time necessarily? I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Between
where
work
it comes
and
in.
a small child
Uh-huh.
and any semblance of a social life, finding time for music is difficult.
Mm-hmm. Of course. I mean, it's hard. Life.
You know what? Life is tricky. You
Yeah.
know, you only get 24 hours a day, and you have to spend them appropriately while also managing to find time to recharge for the next day.
Mm-hmm. Did you
Just
know?
that just never happens.
Did you know that humans weren't supposed to be like have just 8 hours of sleep, and that we were supposed to have periodic sleeping? I just learned this
I
off
would not.
TikTok, so that might not be true. I'm sorry, but like, apparently, there was like that's how they used to. I don't know. I'm sorry. I looked it up too, but yeah,
That's
it's
interesting.
yeah,
Did not know that.
yeah. So we would probably.
TikTok is the number one source of all information.
I know. I'm sorry. I've been so like on
Oh,
TikTok lately, and I feel like wow,
for sure.
cool. There's so many informational videos. That but
I've
you
never used.
it's a Gen Z thing, and I'm 22, and I was born in '98, and I am the older Gen Z, but I am Gen Z.
Dude.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't want to say that it's like, oh, it's only for the young ones, but I mean, like, as a, this is going to date me, but as a 22 or 28-year-old,
Hmm.
it just doesn't, like, hit me with, like, the same, like, oh, this is where it's at.
No.
It's just like, oh, it's cute. You know, it's like, oh, there goes, like, person dancing. I don't know. It's just, it's cool, but it's just
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah, I'm just like I mention things that are on my mind, and I'm sorry. But like, yeah.
it's, it's cool. We
So,
have a whole here, so you can talk about whatever you want.
yeah, cuz it's my show. But it's about you
Oh,
today.
exactly. It's the
It's all
Molo,
about
you know.
you. Yes. So you performed a live DJ set. How was that? And are you gonna do any more?
Simple answer. Oh, that went so poorly. I was totally embarrassed.
What?
Um, I have performed two concerts in my entire life. Once was in high school, and that was a shit show. And this just the transitions were off. The choices were questionable at best.
Mm-hmm.
The flow was just not there. Tracks would jump from like 110 BPM to like 130 with no warning. It was just, I just, it turns out I'm just not good at it. And
Oh.
the self-proclaimed perfectionist when it comes to music that I am, I don't want to like, I don't want to set myself up as like a, come early, come watch my set, and then you get there and it's like, oh, this will be good, and then that wasn't very good. I just don't.
Aww.
I mean, it's not like I'm upset about it. It's
Mhm.
not something that's that big of a deal.
Mhm.
It happened. I got to say I did it, but I don't think I'll be doing it again.
Not if Rosewood came out and was like, "We want you."
Um,
I'm just part of
I,
Rosewood, and I mention them all the time.
I graciously would say thank you, but decline respectfully.
I'm gonna have to decline. Oh my god.
It's again, and it also took a lot of like effort to do,
Mhm.
and the result was really bad.
What if I
Just
made Nathan come over to you, and you guys and he helped you?
learned from Ethan on how to DJ properly.
Well, like to do a live
Sure,
set, yeah.
sure, yeah, yeah. If you send Nathan cross country, sure.
Okay, then I'm gonna have to set up the date, and I need your approval that he could come over. Well, you just said actually I don't. You already gave me your approval. It's done deal. That's consent, and it's broadcasted. So,
Mm-hmm.
so okay, I'm gonna do
Well,
it.
vaporwave mom for setting up the playweight. Excuse me. Um, Although there are some DJs that are definitely a big influence as well. Like that were like I saw them perform
Mhm.
and damn, I want to do that. Um, there's two that stick out: Skeleton Lipstick and James
Literally.
Webster.
And who?
James Webster.
Oh my god, James Webster. Like, yes. Those two, yes. Yes. Um,
I had the extreme pleasure of seeing Chris or Skeleton Lipstick, James, and Pat Pennington all perform at a adorable little tiny club in Philly as part of Skeleton Lipstick's Terminally Chill.
mhm.
And oh my god, what a night! What a wonderful, wonderful night! I
You
got to meet
lucky
James.
soul.
He signed my tapes. I got a photo with him. I didn't get to meet Skelly though, which was a real bummer. But like everybody knew him.
Mhm.
Everybody was talking to him. And if he
Mhm.
wasn't talking to somebody, he was on stage. He played like 3 sets. Like he was a busy man.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, James was just incredible. Dropped some really nice tracks. Dropped Business Class. He dropped Kiss and Kicks by Studio. I think I was probably the only person in that club who knew what that was, but that's fine. It's Studio pretty
Fuck
unknown.
yeah.
Well, maybe not anymore. But, um, and he has this incredible ability to sort of interweave different styles of music
Mhm.
with vaporwave. So it's obviously a vaporwave focused set, but there'll be enough sort of like house numbers that it doesn't just seem like a sort of chill out set. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, and also his energy.
I don't know how he does it.
Literally.
It's just like going,
Yeah,
going.
Literally, how does he do it? He's a freaking doctor who probably doesn't get a lot of sleep, and he just has the energy of the gods or something. Or he is a god himself.
Yeah, that's very possible. Um,
Mm
that's very possible. I saw he did an online set that I watched that stood out to me the most. I think it was like at an after party or something like that,
hmm. Mm
and it was just so good. Like he decorated his house, and all his whole lighting kit was set up in his living room or something. It was just amazing. He just really he blows my mind with his abilities, and James too. James is a fantastic
hmm.
DJ.
Fantastic.
Like he didn't perform or even attempt to like seem like he was performing as Dice Dynamic Shroud. Like it was clearly a DJ set,
Mm hmm.
but it was great.
Well,
It
it
was just hit.
probably. Yeah. It's like when you see your artists like perform other music, it's like interesting and like how they also work with different music and stuff. That's cool. James knows how to like
Uh,
get to my heart. He made me cry. I cried so much at one of his URL sets when he was playing his guitar. Oh my god, and TFKN, right? That's
oh, Top Up for now.
yeah. Um
Yeah.
um, that shit makes me cry. So
And
beautiful.
same with tech as well. Whenever they do butterflies, and that's
Man.
it. It's
Yeah.
the water one.
Yeah. do you hope
Bottom like it.
to do you hope to get that kind of emotion out of anything? Like not necessarily crying, but like, you know, when people listen to your music.
Um,
Well, you did say
do,
nostalgia, but
I mean, yeah, I don't really know what kind of emotion people would have, or do I want them to have necessarily, because it's like
mm,
I don't know. It doesn't really bring like a great deal of emotion out in me. It's just, oh yeah, I really enjoyed like playing that game. It's like a reminder of that nice experience I had.
oh, TTFNK. I'm sorry. I'm a fake fan. I just outed myself. Mm. Wow.
Totally fun.
If you guys want to know, I've only been a fan of Vaporwave for 1 year. So I'm still learning
Cool.
so much. And this
You know,
podcast
everybody.
has helped me learn so much more about people.
You know who you ought to have on?
Who?
Come on.
Wait, what?
You should have tech honors come into your podcast with you.
That would be sick. I brought it up to him, and I also told him though, I was like, it when I get bigger, with this, if I do at all, because I see him so highly. I'm like, uh, when I get bigger, I want to be worth your time, kind of thing. Like, if when that happens, would you be on my podcast?
Tech is
Because
just—he's just a regular dude.
he is a regular
Scam.
dude, but I I think of him and James and Keith so highly. But I am having Keith on. Just saying.
Are you really? When is that happening?
That's happening in January.
Holy shit, that'll be sick.
Yeah. Next week is Super High
Gotta collect
Titan.
all the shows.
Hell yeah.
Oh no way.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, too.
Mhm. Maybe they discussed it and Keith hasn't been on a lot of like podcasts or interviews. Maybe. There's my assumptions that maybe they were like, "Yo, do this." And I'm like, "An opportunity." Maybe. Maybe. Cuz he does deserve to speak. And I don't know why
I
I'm
mean,
doing this accent.
um, so I think it might have something to do with the fact that um, Dynamic Shop has been sort of like a moneymaker for Keith, or not for Keith, I'm sorry, for James and Tech. And
Mm-hmm.
now, if Keith were to come on here, that kind of Keith can kind of just represent Keith.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he would necessarily like advertise it. Well, I mean, okay, I think I'm speaking a little too forward here, but what I mean
Yeah.
is,
With Giant Claw. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I want that.
he's got a lot of his own stuff.
Of
So I
course.
think like a I
Of
don't know,
course.
he's got a lot of his own
That's what I
catalog.
expect, and I want that. That's what I want. Keith to represent himself. I will definitely, add like questions about DDS, but I want it to be about Keith and his music. Of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Do you have like
yeah.
any hobbies other than like making music and other daily chores and stuff?
I mean, like, yeah, there's video games. Of course. Although I've become a lot less of a gamer. Um, like, I think the only video game I've played for the last month was the new Yakuza game, which you can kind of see sticking out of the box, the white box in the background.
You want to show us?
Uh,
Show it.
sure.
Yeah.
Um, this
Ooh. So
this
pretty.
is the
Like
like a
a
dragon.
dragon. I've never played
Uh,
that.
it is the newest entry in the Yakuza franchise. It was called Yakuza 7 in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
and it is probably one of the best games I've ever played.
Ooh.
I love it. A real turn of face for the franchise because it's always been a like a beat 'em up, like an action RPG brawler kind of thing, and it is like a JRPG turn-based strategy game now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's definitely different, but it works. It works really fucking well, quite frankly. I'm really impressed. I've had so much fun with it. The story is gripping. It looks beautiful, and it's just a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I should definitely
Yeah,
check it out. I need to get myself a PlayStation.
it's actually on Xbox and
Ooh.
PC.
Ooh. Ooh, I have both of those.
The Xbox One,
Yeah, I have the Xbox One and I have a PC, obviously. Should definitely get
you should
it.
definitely get it.
Yeah, I haven't
Do
even.
you have Xbox Game Pass?
Yes, I do pay for that.
Yakuza Zero, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2, which is a remake of 1 and 2 for the PlayStation 2, on Game Pass. And you can download them
What?
for
I'm
free
writing this
with
down.
Game Pass. Yep.
Hell
You can go
yeah.
play the first 3 chronological Yakuza games.
For
And some
free?
people argue that, well, I mean, with Game
Oh,
Pass,
eh.
but I mean, when you have Game Pass, it's free, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Yakuza essentially 0, 1, 2, and 3 are on there right now.
Mhm.
A lot of people think Zero is the best one of the franchise.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
Fuck yes.
I don't necessarily agree with them simply because like I've been playing it since Yakuza 4 came out. It's kind of like I started at 4 and then I went to 0, and I don't know, 0 just it's good, but it's confusing for
Mhm.
me. Like it's hard to explain why I don't really particularly like it. Um, it's not a bad one by any stretch of the imagination. It's a very,
Ooh,
very good game.
we're glitching out.
But
I think this is
I
like.
highly.
Okay, perfect. It went back. I'm so sorry. I think it's my internet.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, highly recommend the Yakuza series. It's very good.
Awesome. I just want to
Yeah,
ask. Wait, what was that?
somebody in the chat said uh, 24 Hours Cinderella, which is one of the karaoke songs from Yakuza 0. Because you sing karaoke.
Sick. I just want to ask the chat, do you guys want to ask any questions and hit us with them questions? Yeah, that's cool. Oh, I want to ask you, Blashy, how does the vaporwave community and aesthetic influence your life other than, like making music and stuff? Like, I know you wear merch, but like other ways. I don't know.
Actually, it has been a huge positive influence on me. I used to wear all black all the time, and I looked ridiculous because for the last couple of years, I have definitely always had the stressed out dad look, but I just coupled it with black clothes and metal band shirts and shit. Like, don't take offense to this, but I look like I shopped at a Hot Topic. The reason I say don't take offense to this is because I just feel like it's kind of for a younger generation.
What? No. Like shopping at Hot Topic?
I feel like it's just for like
the younger generation.
I just feel like a little bit.
You're a millennial, right? You said your age earlier. You're a millennial. Hot Topic is meant for you. Hot Topic came out like, in basically the 90s and stuff, or I don't know, probably before that. I don't know the knowledge about Hot Topic and when it actually opened or anything, but dude, I mean,
yeah, it did open in the early 2000s, and it was primarily like goth clothes. Whatever. The point is, I wear a lot of color now.
Sweet. Same,
and I love it.
Kinda,
I feel super comfortable. I love the button-up shirts, and that sort of thing. Lots of colors. I don't think I would have felt comfortable enough with myself if I wasn't had that sort of vaporwave aesthetic. It's cool. Mindset. So,
it is so cool. Definitely. It is so pretty and just pleasing to look
pastel
at.
Pinks are the best.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We have questions. Oh my god. Thank you for all the questions, guys. So, Nathan, what is my favorite game ever? Chrono Trigger. Definitely Chrono Trigger. It has everything I want in an RPG. The art design, the character design was done by Akira Toriyama, who did Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is a huge part of my childhood. Combat is fun. It's interesting. Party system, when you switch up characters, you have different team moves that you can use. I loved figuring out what stuff I could do with different members, and I really enjoyed that. The fact that there's 16 endings or some crazy shit like that on a Super Nintendo cartridge blows my mind. It's just the right combination of everything. Chrono Trigger is incredible. Cannot recommend it enough. I love it so much. Do I use any physical hardware for writing music, or is it all in a DAW? I used to use a electric guitar and like a little MIDI keyboard for a short period of time when I made Dungeon Synth. Now I just do all DAW stuff. Would I like a MIDI keyboard to start doing more original compositions again? Yes. It's just an investment and it's time that I need to figure out, but hopefully one day. What is my favorite food? Indian food. Curry is fantastic, although definitely close second is Mediterranean. Things from Spain, Turkey, Israel. It's not necessarily Mediterranean, but Northern Africa. So any kind of dish that incorporates harissa is just a winner for me.
Do you like spicy food? Like,
I love spicy food.
I love
I don't
spicy food
like.
too.
I have to be specific. I like spices. I don't like peppers. Jalapenos and habaneros and shit like that. It just is like it hurts. It's painful to eat. There's not a lot of flavor. I mean, jalapenos kind of taste citrusy, but I would rather have paprika, cinnamon, cardamom, curry powder, cayenne, and obviously I know cayenne's a pepper, but when you powderize it and mix it with other spices, it's more of its own thing than eating a fucking cayenne pepper. This is my internal sign language for biting off a pepper, by the way, just in case you're wondering what the fuck that was.
Of course. Of course.
But yeah, so Indian food and Mediterranean are definitely good. Always shout out Japanese though. I mean, sushi and ramen and udon and takoyaki are just super nice.
I haven't heard.
Are you able to put your leg behind your head? Was when I did gymnastics when I was younger.
You did gymnastics?
Yeah,
That's so
kind of.
cool.
I did it. As I became a teenager, I discovered Chinese food and marijuana. So I kind of stopped doing most sports because it was just so much more fun to just get baked and watch SpongeBob SquarePants and eat.
Do you like sports?
They're okay.
They're okay.
They're alright. I mean, if I'm hanging out with somebody and they're like, "Let's watch baseball," I'm gonna be like, "Okay."
Like, what the fuck's your goal?
He hit the ball. He's running. Everybody's screaming. I'm guessing this is good.
Yeah, that's how oh my god, that's how I am with all sports, with other people. I guess I should cheer now.
I definitely enjoy soccer for the rest of the world. It's a ball that you kick with your foot.
I kind of despise soccer because of my family. They forced me to watch the World Cup, right?
I love the World Cup.
Or the whatever the fuck it is for soccer when I was younger, or whatever the fuck. Yeah, and because I come from a Spanish family, and I don't know if that matters, but they fucking love soccer. And I'm just not with it. I'm sorry.
I don't sound like I'm agreeing with a stereotype, but every time I go into my local El Salvadorian restaurant, they do have the soccer on.
Yes.
And I do mean every time.
Yeah, of course. No
matter what else is going on in the world, they've got the soccer on with the Spanish commentators, and It's the
Mm-hmm.
fucking best.
Yeah, they're okay. That is something that I mean, if I were to watch soccer with my family, I am more interested in the spectators than the actual game because they're like, goal for like 10 minutes. um,
No! Yeah, no, that's incredible.
yeah, and it's like, whoa, the lungs on that guy. Jeez. um, Darrow Marrow 89
Alright.
asks, oh wait, no, not Darrow. JSI asks, Blashy, what was the first dungeon synth artist you listened to?
Probably Mortiz. Um, cannot do the name. I can see it in my head. I cannot pronounce it because it's in Norwegian. It's the album that's purple. You'll know what I'm talking about if you're a Mortiz fan. Um, that album, I heard that and I thought, damn, this is crazy. This is amazing. This has like a black metal sensibility without being blast beats, the lo-fi guitars, and the crazy screaming. It doesn't feel like, you know, like black and white pulsing at you. It felt like I was inside the world of like a bad Dungeons and Dragons game. And I loved it. I thought it was incredible. And I don't remember if I stumbled across this on YouTube or my buddy showed it to me, but I think probably my favorite Dungeons and artist still to this day is a duo from Greece. They're called Lamentation.
Mm.
God, they just hit the nail on the head. It's so lo-fi. It's so eerie. It's so simple. Another Dungeons and artist I really enjoyed a lot was Akon Kitre from France. It's fantastic. Um, the first one was definitely Mortiz. What's my favorite DDS album and song? Nathan, my favorite DDS album is I'll Try Living Like This. It just flows perfectly. It's got highs, it's got lows, it's got just the right amount of K-pop for me. It's ethereal. It just, I put it on, and it's just like I just get this sucked into this world of, you know, K-pop feels kind of like consumerism in musical form.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like James and Keith kind of just like spun this like really heavy, boiled down version of being trapped in like a consumerist hellscape. That it's so overbearing that you can't get out and you're just kind of just forced to just go with it. And there's other songs that are sampled from R&B, and I love R&B, and it just feels very romantic, and it's just soothing. You know, just love it. The best way I can envision this consumer's hellscape is there's an album by James Ferraro called I Asia. The album cover looks like how I picture I'll Try Living Like This sounds. So if you want to check that out, hopefully you'll get what I mean.
What's your favorite song from them?
Oh, I don't know. That's really hard because a lot of DDS songs are best when heard either at the end of the album or from the previous song, and then going into the next song. Like I feel like the albums are all meant to be like one continuous movement. So I would have to pick something that is meant to be heard individually, like from a compilation or something, and that leaves business class. Coincidentally, is an alternate try living like this outtake. Business class samples Sonic R soundtrack, and I adore that game. It's cheesy, it's hilarious. If you've never heard it, do yourself a favor and go check out the Sonic R soundtrack. You'll, but, it's kind of got this Euro beat silliness, and it's a lot of fun. It's just a really fun song, you know. It's really nice to listen to.
Torch 2424, aka Groovy Kaiju. Chinese food and marijuana in that order? From what we were previously talking about?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, when I say, like, I discovered Chinese food, I don't mean, like, it just magically just, like, came about one day, like, I'd always kind of know what it was, but I mean, like, the idea of consuming it on a regular basis.
I totally understand that, though.
You know? Remember flash mobs? Yes, Nathan, I do. I've always wanted to participate in one, and I just never had the opportunity. And I feel like now, because of COVID, if you get a flash mob, it'll be seen as a, domestic terrorism. So probably not a good idea for the time period.
Oh, I love that. Yes, it is domestic terrorism. Yes. Truth be told, I was part of a flash mob that was terrible. With my, I was in camp and I participated in this really dumb flash mob, but I was like 10. So, yeah. And we did some camp song that no one understood, and we were like, everyone was like in different parts of like we were at the mall and we were at different parts of a food court, and we all just started one by one getting up and dancing and singing together. Cringy shit I've ever done in my life.
The first person to get up is the most bravery of anybody.
True.
That takes serious, like, faith in your friends and to not be discouraged by the immediate judgment of others.
Yeah. But I mean, as kids, you're like super like, you have like the fucking, I mean, not all kids, but I feel like a lot of kids are like, they don't know the world that much or how shitty it is. So they're not, oh god, I'm saying this in the wrongest way ever. I'm so sorry. But, we had what is the word for it? I'm thinking like, not scared, okay? Brave. The kids are brave because, yeah, and I'm done. Like, let's get on to the next question. What's your favorite metal music trope like Blash beats? I mean, I like Blash beats, says Fighting Island.
Blash beats. That's cute. Thank you, teacher. My favorite metal music trope? Probably like the use of really very classically trained vocalists in songs and bands like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, although I'm not like Rob Halford is a classically trained vocalist, but what I mean is just like clean singing in general. Not all metal has to be, like it can have beautiful operatic voices. And I don't know if that's really a trope, but there's a whole subgenre of metal called power metal, and it's a very European thing. And one of the most standout artists to me is Stradivarius, which is a play on Stratocaster guitar and Stradivarius. There was like a guy who made musical instruments, notably violins, after his name, and they're like considered the best instruments in the world. They're kept like under lock and key because they just are perfect. Um, and they have a singer called Timo something. They're a Finnish band. I cannot possibly pronounce their names correctly. And he's just the most incredible singer I've ever heard. Just perfect on the money. His notes are clean and clear. His accent definitely influences his sound, but it works for them. You know, love that kind of shit. Love the clean singing focus.
Yeah.
Joke. Oh, well, never mind. Okay. Apparently that was a joke. That's alright. Well, if there's any opportunity I can get to talk about Stradivarius, I will.
Kevin Friend asked, favorite movie. You guys
Blade
talk
Runner.
about this yet? Oh no. No, we have not talked about favorite movies.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner?
It's like there's no I need to think about this. There's no anything. It's just Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
It's the perfect movie.
Truth.
It's the right length. It's the
Facts.
right atmosphere. The music is exquisite. I was talking to some people in the Discord, the DDS Discord, about Dream Punk, and we kind of came to the conclusion that the Blade Runner soundtrack is like prototype Dream Punk. It's just amazing.
Nrail asks, is your favorite band the Sea Blash?
I think that was a joke too.
Well,
Because from the subject, do you have a favorite metal band? Yes, I do. My favorite metal band is Blind Guardian from Germany. Every single one of their songs is perfection. They do the power metal thing that I mentioned earlier, and the best way I can describe Blind Guardian is if they existed in the 15th century, they would be a traveling group of bards. They sound like they're playing on like electric lutes, and they're just perfect. I love their music. Sing along every song. I know the words to pretty much every one of their songs. Anytime I put it on in the car and I'm driving to work, I'm like, singing to every song. I was going to start singing and I stopped myself because I didn't want that to be on the VOD. But you know, I'm singing it, I promise, and it's really good. And yeah,
I just want to say, Shiro City, you're funny. You're really funny. I'm sorry, did I cut you off? You were gonna say something more.
Actually, I'm just gonna put the name of my favorite album.
I actually became an affiliate. I just haven't set it up yet because I forgot my social security, and I just have to figure that out with like my dad, and I just been so lazy about that. So, ooh, this is a good question from Torch24. What are you excited for?
It should not take me this long to answer this question. I don't know, Sage to get a year older, his developments are always exciting. I'm looking forward to the month of December being over. shout out to somebody who was in the chat earlier, Cutest Carnage. If you're still listening, I can't wait to not hear Christmas music for another year.
I feel you.
Just the holidays are a difficult time for everybody. I'm kind of excited for that, just to kind of get past that. I'm excited for a potential COVID vaccine because live music is critical, and I would really like to go to things like the let's say George throws Electronicon 3.
Yes.
I'm trying to go to that, man. Like I wanna meet the fam. I wanna meet the Vaporwave people.
Yes.
I want to live music. I want to be able to take Sage out in public and not have it be,
scary.
I'm just excited for new Destiny Shroud album.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, I can't wait for that. Just little things. Nothing serious coming up in my life, really. That's crazy and exciting. I mean, the new tape comes out in February, like I talked about earlier. I'm excited to see that come to fruition. But
yes.
Exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You already answered favorite metal band. Okay. And yeah, Nathan, yes, to become an affiliate, you do need your social security number because you are basically employed and I don't know, you're basically employed by Twitch and in order to, receive money, and you also have to pay your taxes. It's, business owner or whatever the fuck. So yeah, you need your social security.
Yeah, you essentially become an independent contractor for Twitch.
Yeah.
And they'll send you a 1090 every year.
Mm-hmm.
And you just download that and fill it out and include it in your taxes.
Yep, and I don't even know how to do my taxes. I'm like the worst.
Oh, honestly, you only have to worry about it if you get a payout and you have to reach $100 minimum to get that payout. I still have like $60 or something in Twitch bucks just sitting in my account that I can't do anything with because I don't stream anymore. I can't make more money.
What?
It's just in limbo. Yeah, it's actually somebody doesn't like subscribe and then like $250 if you're in your junky account. Like you have to wait until you accumulate enough money.
That is so effing dumb. That is so effing dumb. I hate that.
The way they do it.
What?
It's silly, but
you just stare at that money and you're just like, not that. No, yeah, whatever. Oh, God. Molo is baby, but it's okay because I'm baby too. I am baby. I'm scared to potentially meet all the Shroudies in person at some point, some future show. Why are you scared? Why?
Because be able to recognize and identify any potential hardcore Shroudy is when they do butterflies. The pit will become a pool of tears, and the people that are contributing to the tears, those are the Shroudies.
Mm-hmm.
Then you know.
Yeah, I'm excited for Econ 3 because George said he is gonna do it. It's just we are waiting for this stupid fucking pandemic. Ugh. God.
I'm excited for that too.
Yeah.
I missed out on Econ 1.
Would you DJ or not? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, I had the opportunity to go to Econ 1, and I didn't. And in hindsight, like, it was a matter of like either I keep my job or I go to Econ 1. And honestly, in hindsight, I wish I had just quit my fucking job in Econ. I hated that job anyways. They weren't paying me shit. My hours sucked, and the people I worked with were terrible. And I wish I had just driven to New York.
I did that. I quit my job for Warp Tour. It was the best choice I had ever made because it was the last Warp Tour too. In West Palm, yeah. Um. uh, the
Sorry, you were
Genius
going
Live.
to say something.
Huh?
You were going to say something about Econ?
Oh my god,
I think?
yeah. Oh, yes, yes, I remember now. Um, if George asked you to DJ or just like play your music or like play for Econ, would you? I mean, would you really pass that up? Let's be real.
Yes.
You would
I would
pass it
pass
up?
that up.
You would pass it
Yes.
up? What?
I would pass the opportunity because I don't want to tear down the wall of okay. There are some vaporwave artists that I see more as just like people. I can reach out to them. If I
Mm-hmm.
really want to talk to them, I can.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that I feel like it's best to kind of like leave them like almost on like a little bit of a pedestal, simply because I don't want to completely shatter the illusion of, you know, the musician is cool because they play the music. Like, it's nice to, it's just nice to kind of like keep some people like inaccessible. If I
I
really want
hear
to talk
that.
to tech I can talk to tech honors. Like, I can send them a DM and say, hey. If I
Mm-hmm.
really want to talk to about something, I can just talk to him in his Discord about it.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal. Like George Clanton, like sometimes if I ask a question in the George Clanton fan club Discord, response. Other times, not so much. I wouldn't even know how to get in touch with, Dan Mason or something, and Telepath just fucking walks around the backstage area with no costume on. I don't want to know what he looks like.
Ah,
I do
that.
not want to know who Telepath really is because Telepath is mysterious. And for the same reason, I don't want to know what Daft Punk looks like with their helmets off. I don't think I've ever.
Ah. Ah, now everything is connecting. You don't want to go backstage or have that ability because, like, you
Yeah,
want to keep the illusion going.
I kind of want to remain a fan.
Ah, yeah, that makes hella sense, dude. Yeah.
I don't, and I like looking up to people, and I don't feel like, and it's not that like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I performed at Econ as an after party DJ, so I no longer aspire to do more. Like, I just
Oh
want
my god,
to be
yeah.
a fan.
Yeah, that's my
I
whole
love the
huge
ability.
motto. It's like, just be a fan of things.
Yeah, I don't need to meet every idol. Just some. Like, I want to meet Eclipse at some point. My folks
Well,
are crying.
I mean, I think, like, meeting your idols, like, don't get to know your idols too much. Like, meet them,
Yeah.
have that, so you, like, get them to sign stuff, have that handshake or hug if they're comfortable, and, like, that's it. Don't, just don't get to, like, know them because like, what if they're not as cool as you think
Yeah,
they are?
I may have like, propped them up in my head as somebody that they aren't, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't really want to be let down. I guess.
Yeah, that is. I have actually experienced that once, but they weren't that big of a like to begin with. Like I met like a small YouTuber at one of these concerts, and he was kind of a dick, and I stopped watching his YouTube like videos completely. And he was a smaller YouTuber, so I'm like, fuck.
That's a shame.
Like,
So
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. My idols are cool, especially with Vaporwave. The mystery is a huge component. That is so true.
Is I love the mystery. I do. I mean, anybody really know what luxury it looks like? Not
Mhm.
necessarily. I still to this day would love to know just who the fuck Pega is and how you get Pega signatures on your tapes. I'll never know. Pega's Twitter was deactivated like 2 years ago, and they aren't answering their emails. So the mystery is cool.
Mhm.
On like the live performances, so there's some level of anonymity is going to get torn down. I mean, with Telepath, it's different
Mhm.
because he does perform in that crazy costume, um, which is cool. But I don't know. I just feel like just sometimes it's better to just be a fan.
Yeah. Yeah. You're totally
So
right. I totally agree.
meeting people, sure. Chumming it up, I'm not so sure. But also, like hilariously introverted. Like despite working in retail, like I
Mhm.
actually have very few IRL friends because it's just a lot easier for me to just kind of do my own thing and stick to
Mhm.
myself. The last couple of concerts I went to, I went either alone or with a person, and we left early because they're also an introvert.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'll just leave concerts early, even no matter I'm having a great time or not, because it's like, ah, well, if I leave now, I can beat traffic. It's like
Yeah.
it's just traffic. It's 11 o'clock
Yeah.
at night. Like it's just it's easier just to kind of do the thing and then pick yourself and then on your way. But that's just me. I mean, not everybody's like that.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I've always been extremely afraid to like go to concerts by myself, but I mentioned this on one of my old streams that I went to a concert with my friend and he got really sick and I was pretty selfish, but I still went to the concert. He was sick in my car.
uh,
Yeah, pretty asshole thing, but like, yeah. Anyways, if you want to watch that, that was with Nrail. That I that goes further into what I'm talking about. But like I was alone, and what happened was like I made friends with these like girls, and I was like talking to people, and I probably would have like been really like closed off if I was with my friend, and I kind of like liked that experience, and I probably would have never felt that before if I didn't, you know, made a made an asshole mistake. But yeah, like, but I really did like that, and I was able to like just yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I get it.
good to have unique experiences for sure. Or at
Yeah,
least unique to um, because you just gotta have them.
yeah.
Uh, I'm trying to be a little more extroverted.
Mhm.
Uh, like one of the fellow shotties in Discord, it turns out he lives in the same state as me, and that's not far given how tiny of a state I live in.
Mhm.
So, the point, you know, um, this person and I are probably gonna like hit a record store, and that'll be nice, but it could be the only time I do that.
Mhm. Yeah, I understand. I get it. Sometimes it
Um,
takes a lot of energy, you know. And yeah.
It does.
It do. But I'm
It's
gonna meet
exhausting
you at
sometimes.
Econ 3.
Yes, yes, definitely. At the very least,
Yes.
if not, I don't know, I'll go on vacation and me and Tech will go get a burger or something. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, or that place that he posted with all that cheese. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I want to go to the cheese place. Yes,
Yes,
I want to
the
get
where he had
nasty
chili and
cheese. Yes,
hella cheese. I'd
yes.
like to go
Give me all the
there.
chili
Yeah.
down. Um, so I've had a wonderful, wonderful time talking to you. However, I can hear Sage freaking the fuck out upstairs.
Oh,
Um,
okay, that's fine because we actually have 10 minutes left.
yeah.
Perfect.
Sorry.
You gotta do what you gotta do. This was amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you everyone for being here. I just want to say that uh, next stream will be with Super High Titan. Come check it out. And do you have anything to promote?
Um,
Okay.
Aquaria in February. There's some new tapes. Um, Animal Forest on CD, Dream Museum Records, available now. Um, and some point I'll announce the other thing, eventually.
Hell
But
yeah.
yeah,
All right. Thank
play
you
that right now.
guys.
Thank you so much for the chat.